Hey there, welcome to our newest video for this week. We're the Dimitrov-Boulay piano duo. My name is Dimitri Dimitrov.
And my name is Elvira Boulay.
And in today's video, Elvira asked me that we answer one of the questions we had, and that was about Clair de Lune.
Yes, so the question was, how do I maintain in the middle section where the fast arpeggios start, how do I maintain an even and consistent tone? So we're gonna get into that today.
So before we dive into the tips or the exercises that we are going to give you, we wanted to mention two important things, and that's about underestimating technical aspects when you play piano and underestimating the technical side of piano playing, and underestimating the musical aspect, the musical side of piano playing. So what do you want to tell them what we mean by that? Because it's important.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of times that I had piano lessons in the past, a lot of times they were from piano teachers that actually already had the technical aspects on such a high level that they forgot what it's like to be struggling with the technical side of piano playing. And the technical side of piano playing does need a lot of work and does need a lot of exercises and practice on your part to improve that. So I think that is a bit of a habit among professionals to forget that there is actually a purely technical side as well. But I think that among students, it's a big thing to underestimate that the musicality influences the technical side of piano playing very much. So that a student tends to focus really only on the technical side and doesn't want to believe that actually a musical approach can really benefit your technical playing as well.
Because there are two types of people who have lessons and people who don't have lessons with a teacher, who are studying by themselves. If you are by yourself, make sure that you focus on both things because you will see an enormous progress.
So in today's video, we're actually going to give you two tips, one focused on the technical and one focused on the musical. So we're going to start at the section where this arpeggios start, which is at bar 27, un poco mosso, which means a little faster. And the first type of arpeggio is actually divided within the left and the right hand.
I'm gonna watch and learn.
So that is where the arpeggios are divided by the left and the right hand. So I think that the first thing, let's explore a technical aspect here. I think the first thing is that you have to transition here really quickly. So I think that is one of the things that makes this section difficult.
Transition from what do you mean exactly?
Yeah, so here you have your hands. If you prepare your hands, this arpeggio is not going to cause you too much trouble. You can still almost keep your hands in the same place.
But the next one...
But this one is going to make it really difficult.
So from the F, you have to jump to the next interval in the right hand, and that makes it actually quite difficult.
And not only that you have to jump to the next interval, you also have to immediately prepare the rest of the fingers to be able to catch those fast 16th notes. So I think that this is something that causes trouble. I think also that the fast movement towards this interval actually causes quickly an accent on this F,
on the last F,
which is exactly why we're explaining why musicality and technicality is connected, because that's exactly what you don't want musically. You don't want an accent there.
I would say one of the first things that you do before you even begin with this passage is write down fingering, because if you are playing with random fingering and if you're changing it, that's never going to produce the same results. So you want to get the fingering out of the way first thing.
If you follow the channel, you know we're obsessed with fingering, but we're obsessed with fingering for a reason, because it is one of the biggest secrets we could ever give you in piano playing. So I think that one of the exercises that you can do in order to help with this quick transition is check it with the metronome, maybe put the metronome. And the first thing that you want to do on the metronome is actually just prepare your hands without
maybe
even
we can
playing.
Demonstrate that?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm a very big fan of transitioning and arriving at the note you need to play before the metronome. So that's going to give you great speed, and you're going to be always on time, always ready to play the next note without playing wrong notes or accents.
So put the metronome on a tempo that you're comfortable with, and your goal is to arrive before the metronome beats.
Shall we do it first quite slowly?
Yeah, let's do it slowly.
Because, yeah. So if you're observing carefully, you'll see that Elvira arrives on that beat where you have the A flat and the C flat. Elvira arrives there before the metronome. Can you demonstrate it once more? Because I think it's useful to see that.
And I arrive there not only with the interval, but I also position my hands to catch
the left hand,
all the 16th note. So
that's very good.
I would first, without the metronome, just puzzle out exactly what you can already prepare and practice that a couple of times.
Yeah, nice. And listen carefully that you're really before the metronome, because I know it helps a lot. And the same with the next ones. That's absolutely the same. Because what you have then... Oh, that one is difficult.
That one is difficult.
You see that I jump. And then listen, that A flat, not to have an accent. And then that's the same with the metronome. Maybe I can show them. Yeah, my fingers are there before the metronome, and that guarantees comfort. My advice would be just to start a little slower, so you really are conscious that you really can prepare on time.
This was definitely a too fast practice tempo for when you're starting out.
Yeah.
So I think that is one of the aspects, one of the general technical aspects of piano playing is preparation.
Yeah.
It's a big one, and this has to do with preparation.
Yeah, and we wanted to give also a musical idea. I would say the musical idea would be basically your first note of every group of 16th notes. You have group of 16th notes. You want every first note, the bass, to be a little bit louder perhaps, because that's something very natural. And after that, ideally, you want to have a decrescendo going up. So you want... Then the next. Because that ideally would sound very good. Now, if you're not that advanced yet, and if you're just starting, my advice would be don't go there yet. First, make sure that you have all the notes more or less evenly divided volume-wise, and don't have any accents. If you don't have any accents, that will ensure that you contribute to your technical development as well, and you'll be able to play faster. And of course, you do that in a slow tempo. As you see, I'm not doing it because you're not going to be able to hear what you're doing. So in the beginning, you see that I approach it very easily. And you cannot hear accents in my playing because I'm very consciously listening for that I don't hit any notes.
Yeah, and I think there we touch on the question that students have, and it's a really simple answer. Yeah. How do I not play without accents? Well, Dimitar already said it, but it's that simple. You have to pick a tempo in which you don't have accents.
Yeah.
Everybody has a tempo. I've never had a student that didn't have a tempo, no matter how slow it is. It's just the fact, what confuses you usually is the fact that it's so slow. So I wouldn't be surprised if when you're just starting out, your tempo would be...
Yeah, absolutely.
And
see, can you control each
yes.
note?
There's always a tempo in which you can control, and it's just that you think too much like, oh, but how will I ever play it fast, blah, blah, blah. But there is always a starting tempo where you can control the accent. So that's the answer to your questions. How do I maintain an even tone? Just practice it slow enough. Once that gets comfortable, and it takes not as long as you would think. Once you're comfortable, start in that tempo, play it a little faster, go back to that tempo, play it a little faster, go back to and repeat.
You can choose. I usually like to choose to start with the technical aspect, to prepare on time, and
Me too,
then
actually.
Yeah, because if you have the fingering and if you're technically well prepared and you can shift your hands into positions on time, you most likely know the notes. You're comfortable with your fingering, you're ready to transition to the musical aspect of playing the notes evenly with the bass note perhaps a little bit louder, because that gives a nice solid feeling. And then after that, if you're further comfortable, even more comfortable, you can decide not only to play them evenly but to have a decrescendo going up. But imagine you start with a decrescendo going up and you cannot prepare on time. Things are going to be messed up, so it's not going to work. So definitely follow this linear kind of progression when you are practicing. And further, we are showing you just the first bar, but that applies to just the middle section. Of course, there is going to be some differences if you get other passages, but feel free to let us know if you want a specific place, because we have to be more general within the video. We can get into all the specifics within one video.
So just one more thing about technical exercises. We did make some videos on rhythms, which are very basic technical exercises that can help you with any passage. So I'll link it up here.
That could be.
And we also made one on what we call the groups, which is also another technical aspect that also helps you generally with any passage that you struggle with. We used to do them when we were more beginning with our piano playing. We used to do them all the time, so I will link the groups video here as well. You can check it out.
Anyway, as always, like the video even if you didn't like it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel even if you don't want to. For us, as always, recording this video for you was a great pleasure. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.